Hello, my name is Matthew Kramer, and I'm running for Santa Barbara City Council. Buenos dias, dobre den, ciao, konnichiwa. I'm running for City Council because I care and I love of this city. Had the pleasure of having my daughter, Caroline, born here, who is now 4 years old, and we were lucky to live on one of the nicest neighborhoods I've ever seen in my life, which is the Upper East Side. When I was 13 years old, I was an Eagle Scout here in town, and I was at a Christmas party for the homeless. And that was the first time in which I experienced the low-income residents of this city and some of the specific problems and challenges they have. I've done an in-depth investigation of this segment of our population, and I have some real specific action-oriented ways in which we can help them. Secondly, I also would like to focus on economic development. When I was running for mayor last time against Marty Bloom in the last election, I was invited to lunch with the mayor of Cleveland. During our lunch, we discussed many issues, one of which was her economic development department. When I sat down with her staff, I was pleased to learn of some of the policies and procedures they use in Cleveland. And although much a larger city than Santa Barbara, I believe that we could implement some of those problems or some of those policies here. The grant program they have, for instance, which gives grants to local employers to train new employees from the city for jobs, was a great idea. I think it would help fill up some of the empty stores and businesses that are along the Milpas and State Street corridors. And speaking of State Street, I think we'd all like to clean up a little bit. I think that the homelessness and the crime that's ongoing in the city has been increasing the past couple of years as far as I've noticed as a resident. And as a homeowner, I was very disturbed at one point here a few years ago to have to pay a cash bribe to a city building inspector, and I wish that no resident should ever have to do that as long as I'm a city councilman. And after talking with one of the police officers yesterday, and he expressed to me that they don't have enough policies or laws in place to help deal with the homeless population here, I think that's our job as city councilmen. We can sit down with this officer and his fellow officers, and we can find ways in which we can give them the tools to help them with their jobs. Again, I also think that the homeless situation needs to be given some action and some funding. If we spent a little bit of social service money on helping these people out and trying to raise them from their conditions, we would see increased revenues from hotel stays, a better experience for the tourists and the resident, and a cleaner and safer environment. So I urge you to vote for me, Matthew Kramer, when you're looking at the ballot. As well as my experience as an Eagle Scout, I'm also the owner of Platinum Sage Mine.